Hello, I hope you're well. My name's Alison and I'm what I call body mechanic, which I work on musculoskeletal therapy and realignment. So I'm really excited to share with you a little technique which really helps me reduce discomfort across my upper shoulders. Now, the brilliant thing is that it's cheap, the piece of equipment that you need, and it's easy to use. So, a tennis ball. This is something that there's so many different massage gadgets and tools that we can use which are really effective, but most of us can lay our hands on a tennis ball. You can pop to the sports shop, or even like I've taken my dog's ball, so he's not going to be very happy with me. He's going to say, Alison, can I have my dog ball back? But just for the principle of what I want to share with you. So a lot of us spend most of our time in internal rotation. What does internal rotation mean? It means that we're sitting with the shoulders rounding and we're overstretching those muscles of the back, in particular the rhomboid muscles, which are a group of muscles that go from the spine and they go into the scapular region, which is your shoulder blade. So hence we get a lot of tension there. And over the top we have this wonderful kite-shaped muscle, the trapezius, which you may have heard of. We've got upper trapezius, we've got mid fibers, and we've got lower fibers, and they go into a lovely kite shape so from the neck to the shoulders, going into that thoracic part of the back. So what we want to do is we want to find out how can we quickly release some tension. So what I want you to feel, I want you to take your hand over your shoulder. Now, don't press this onto the spine. Okay, we try to avoid the spine at all cost. It is good practice to do that. So place your hand and have a little massage and feel if you can find a tight knot. Now, I always tend to find mine quite high up, just around this area here. Now, when you've found that tight spot, what I want you to do is get your tennis ball, and you can either do this sitting against a high back chair or standing up against the wall. You're going to get that tennis ball and you're going to drop it down and just find that tension point. Then you're going to lean back into your chair or against the wall and gently press the shoulder girdle. So the shoulder girdle is this whole region. Just press it back and release, and then move until you can find what we call that sweet spot. So that point you think, oh yeah, that's just releasing tension. And now what I want you to do is just push the shoulders back, push them back and hold that point. It feels such a nice release, and just start off with 30 seconds, not too long. You may find some sensation coming around the top of the shoulders. That's quite common because all of a sudden we start to get a release and then relax. Start off with 30 seconds and then you can increase up to a minute depending on where you feel comfortable. Now we can also engage the body and use the body's own natural movements to increase that trigger point release. For example, if I bring my arm, so I'm applying a gentle pressure with the tennis ball, and if I pull the arm back and hold that tension point, I can feel that's a little bit more intense, and I'm getting some sensation up here to the upper trapezius. Again, holding for 30 seconds and then release, and just have a little mobilization and shake out of the shoulders. The other thing you can do as well is bring the arm across. So if you think about it, what you're doing is you're pulling the scapula away and releasing what we call the rhomboid muscles, and then gently press using that tennis ball, and again release. Now, what I say is, if you find that you have tension in one shoulder, don't just focus on placing that tennis ball into the shoulder that's aching. Repeat that on the other side, because muscles work best when we're balanced. So for example, if you release that, oh, that feels better, without doing the other side, you can create an imbalance. And that other side will be saying, please help me, I need to be released. So we can repeat the same process on to the other point. And we would repeat the same pattern. Now, it may seem funny, but if you're standing up, if you get a long sock and pop your tennis ball in, when you pop it over your shoulder, it's not going to fall on the floor, because I've done that before. So you can then move it down, or a pair of tights. And by using that, what you will find, what I love about trigger point release therapy, is that you feel an instant release. You can feel the shoulders lengthen. You feel that little bit more increase, because when you're putting that pressure on, all of a sudden when you press into it, you think about it, the blood flow's being a little bit restricted. When you take it away, the blood flow comes in, the nutrients come in, and it feels so much better. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And as I say, tennis balls, absolutely brilliant. My friend said, can I upgrade to, a baseball or something harder? And I said, to be honest with you, you don't need to. A tennis ball will be absolutely fine. You can get massage balls, you've most probably seen that, the ones with the little spikes on. Sometimes that can be a little bit more uncomfortable, so if you're new to this, just start off with a tennis ball. I hope you found that helpful, and take care.